Hello, 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 citizens of the Avina Vlogs community. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I got a brand new video for you guys today. I'm super excited to share it with you. It is my July book wrap-up and my August TBR list. I read a few books in July, and I got quite a few books to read in August. I thought I'd share what I read, what I thought about what I read, and what I'm going to be reading in August. It was a busy month for books. I actually got to work with an author on a review and an interview this month for a brand new young adult book series, and I'm super excited to continue working with her. But yeah, I thought I'd share a little bit, and I'm not going to go into too many details. Some of these books have full reviews that are going to be going up, and if you want to read all my thoughts, my full thoughts on each book, you can go to my blog, which is authoranthonyavina.tumblr.com. You like the little woo thing going on there. I'm sorry if I seem hyper, but I'm just super excited to be back filming. The air's on, it's not hot anymore, and yeah, I'm going to be filming quite a few videos today. So if you see videos of me wearing this same shirt over the next few weeks, it's because I'm filming in advance. Because at the end of August and beginning of September, I am going to be going to San Francisco for a week. We're going to be heading up there, having some fun, going to San Francisco Comic-Con while we're there, and seeing the sights, and we're so excited. We're also going to be spending a day or two in Monterey, and going to the Monterey Aquarium. Going to be some awesome vlog footage coming your way from that trip. But I want to film these videos in advance, and so there you go. That's the situation. So, with that in mind, here is the July book wrap-up and my August TBR. Alright, as always, I've got my notes here on my Santa Monica phone. And, yeah, I'm just going to share a few thoughts on each book. The first of which is Elimination, the Mind Breakers Trilogy, Book 1 by Marina Epley. This is a brand new young adult dystopian novel set in a world where some natural disasters of some sort have kind of torn apart the world. The survivors are kind of split apart because a new group of humans have evolved to become breakers, which are people with mind-reading abilities, telepathy, all sorts of abilities that regular humans are afraid of. And they think everyone who's a breaker is a criminal, is a bad guy, and so they round them up, and they put them in prison camps and execute them. It's a very gritty world, and it's about this guy named Rex who is a breaker, and he's just trying to survive and protect his little sister. And one day, when he's working at his job at the bank, he uses his ability to stop a crime. And in the process, he's outed as a breaker, and so he has to go on the run. And from there, just chaos ensues. He's torn between, trying to protect both humans and breakers. He's trying to, fight against the system, but at the same time trying to prevent his own breaker people from becoming, homegrown terrorists kind of thing. So it's a very interesting read, very gritty and dark and cool, and I really loved it. And I got to actually do an interview with Marina Epley. I'll be sure to put her interview link down below as well. But yeah, she actually sent me her second book in the series, which is going to be on my TBR list, so look for that in a few minutes. I also read Shane Dawson's brand new book. It's the second book he's written in the last couple years. It's called It Gets Worse. It's a collection of memoir, essay kind of stuff. It's really a fun, interesting, and emotional read. He does a great job of blending his unique sense of humor with, the really hardcore, heartfelt, emotional stuff. It's a fun read. I think a lot of people, especially our generation and younger generations, are going to be able to connect with it in a way that not a lot of memoirs do these days. He really has a unique voice that can't be matched, and I really would love to read even more from him because he's got such a creative mind and he's also got such an insightful mind, and I think he's gone through a lot in his life that a lot of people are going to be able to relate to in this book, and it's not a book you want to miss reading out on. So, It Gets Worse, a collection of essays by Shane Dawson. Definitely a book I highly recommend. I also read Alchemy, A Story of Perfect Murder by Chris James. It is a historical fiction piece. It's got a mixture of horror and, sort of kind of romance. It's more horror-based, historical horror, and a lot of suspense and mystery stuff in it. Basically, it's about the trial of the century where this guy is arrested for a Jack the Ripper style murder spree, but it turns out that there's more to it than that. There are a lot of twists and turns in this. It goes back and forth between the actual trial and all the events of this accused murderer's life before the events that led him to a trial. It's about the search for immortality. It's about the combination of magic and science, and it's about this Victorian era London kind of setting, very gothic in its tone, and it involves, trying to find a formula to raise the dead, and you go back and forth between believing this guy is innocent and believing maybe he really was capable of doing this thing. You really don't know. Even until the last few pages, you're like, really, what is happening? It's a great twist at the end. A lot of awesome stuff, and I highly recommend it. And it's the first of this book series. So go check it out. Alchemy, A Story of Perfect Murder by Chris James. Not to be missed. I also read another fantasy type of book. It's called The Queen's Poisoner. It is from the King Fountain series by Jeff Wheeler, and it was a lot of fun. It's about this young boy who is taken as collateral in this made-up kingdom. He is the son of the Duke of Kiskadin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And the king of this kingdom, King Severn, takes him, because the Duke lost in his gamble against the king. So the only way to have his family survive was to give up his youngest son. So they go to the court of King Fountain, which is this land, and Owen, who is the young boy, has to learn to survive. He has to learn who his real allies are, who he can trust. He has to grow up very, very quickly, and he learns a lot. He gains new friends, and he has to play a very dangerous game in order to survive because his life is hanging by a thin thread. So it's a really great fantasy series. A lot of elements of I want to say medieval kind of setting, and a lot of magic involved, and it's a really fun read. And it's the first of another series, so I highly recommend it. The Queen's Poisoner, the first book in the King Fountain series by Jeff Wheeler. Go read it. And finally, the last book I read, I actually just finished reading it yesterday, but I started it at the end of July, so I'm counting it, was Runes, which is the first book in the Runes series by Edna Walters. I saw a few booktubers posting about this, and it looked interesting. It is another young adult novel that takes place in Seattle, I believe, or near the Seattle area. And it involves ancient mythology. It might not be Seattle, actually. It might be Washington. I don't remember. A lot happened in this book. Basically, this young girl named Rain Cooper, she's 17 years old. She's dealing with a lot. Her father has been missing for a year. Her mother is kind of slowly losing touch with reality, which is scary for Rain. And her best friend, guy friend, and the guy that she has had a crush on for years, is possibly moving. So she's dealing with a lot of emotional, personal teenage stuff. However, things get very, very complicated and a lot more dangerous than she ever anticipated her life getting when her new neighbor moves in, a young man named Torrin St. James. and there's just a kinetic spark between them, and she finds herself drawn to him even when she doesn't want to be. And soon she is hurt, and he saves her. And when he uses some sort of mysterious mark or a rune, she has to go find out who this Torrent St. James really is, or what he is. What did he do to her, and why is she so drawn to him? So a really fun young adult series. The mythology used is not something I've really noticed in young adult books before, which is fun. It's a brand new, or not brand new, but it's a new direction for incorporating mythology into a book series. So highly recommend it. If you want to read the full review, like I said, go to my blog, author.anthonyavina.tumblr.com. But yeah, Edna Walters did a fantastic job. It looks like a full book series that I really want to get into. So go check it out. Runes, book 1 of the Runes series by Edna Walters is a definite must-read for young adult fans. Alright, I'm going to list the books I plan on reading, and I actually just started one of them. The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings. Lindsay Cummings is a fantastic author. I did a book review of her and booktuber Sasha Alsberg's co-written book, Zenith, and Drama Saga. They're both fantastic writers, and The Murder Complex is probably Lindsay Cummings' most popular book to date. Like the title suggests, it involves murder. It involves a society that involves murder, and it looks pretty interesting from what I read about it. So I'm going to be reading The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings. I'm also going to be reading Earth and Sky, which is book 1 in the Earth and Sky trilogy, and it's written by Megan Crew. Yeah, Megan Crew. I'm also going to be reading, which I'm really excited about, book 2 in the Mindbreaker trilogy, written by Marina Epley. It's called Retaliation, and I know she is hard at work on book 3 right now, so I'm really excited to read the second book. I am going to be reading, the book I'm reading right now is called The Guardian, A Sword and Stilettos, which is the first in the Enlightened series by Kristen D. Van Kissingum. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but it involves, angels and demons and werewolves and fairies, and it's got a whole bunch of cool supernatural stuff going on to it. So far, it seems really interesting because it just kind of jumps headfirst into the action and the drama, which, usually when you read books, they kind of slowly build up to that, but this is like immediate, bam, stuff going on. So I'm going to be reading that, and I'm in talk with another author to read a short story that's like a zombie survival manual, which seems pretty interesting. So I'll let you guys know for the August book wrap-up what I think of all those. So there you go. That was my July book wrap-up and August TBR. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to be having reviews of some of these books individually go up on the channel this month, but I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments below what books you plan on reading this month in August, and what books you may have read this past month in July. Like this video, comment on it, favorite it, and share it. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button down below. It means so much to me if you did. And click that eye in the sky for today's recommended videos, playlists, and more. If you want to follow me on social media, you make sure you go down to the links in the description box and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Snapchat, all that fun stuff. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but in the next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Long days and pleasant nights, my friends.